Welcome back to Kids Planning. I'm Jared, and this is my dad, and today we're going to talk about games that have a spooky theme but aren't actually scary to play.
Yes, so we're going to go through 10 games that you can play this Halloween that, like Jared said, are spooky in theme but not actually scary. These are going to be good games for your family to play on Halloween. There's a few party games in here. There's some cooperative games. It's just a good mix of games for all ages, because even I don't like scary games. I don't want to go to bed scared and have nightmares. So these are great games for the entire family to play on Halloween. We're not going to go into a lot of detail on these. So if there's any that seem like they may or may not be a good fit for you, be sure to look into them more. Some of them we have videos on, and if we do, we will link to those in the description so that you can find those videos. But let's kick it off with game one that is spooky-ish but not scary for you to play on Halloween.
Hold on.
Yep, our pile is falling over. There you go.
One Night Werewolf.
Yes, so we have One Night Ultimate Werewolf from Bezier Games. It is a social deduction game where there is werewolves, townspeople, and some special players depending on how many people you have playing, and you are trying to figure out who the werewolf is. Simple to play. It plays, I believe, 3 to 10 players with this version. Again, it's one of those that the more people you have, it really plays better at higher player counts. But it can play down to 3 people if you need it to.
And if you don't want the werewolf theme, there's also like One Night Aliens.
Yes.
And they have different themes for it. So if you don't want the werewolf theme, you can do like aliens or...
Yeah, there's a whole line of one night games from Bezier Games you can play, like Jared said. If you don't want werewolves, you have plenty of options with that. So that is One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Game 2 is... Kingswood from 25th Century Games. Beautiful artwork. Now, this is one of those that might be a little bit of a stretch, but in Kingswood, you are visiting different parts of the village to collect weapons and health and different things that you are going to use to then go into the wood and fight monsters. Now, the monsters, there's some ghosts. I think there's some, they're more mythical kind of cute creatures. Again, the artwork is really great. Let me pull out some of the cards here and show you.
They have like some goblin bullies. They have like goblin leaders. The ghosts, I think the scariest part about the ghosts is that they have chains on their hands. But other than that, they just have a mouth saying, ooh, and they're like, they just look like a floating blanket that you can look through.
You have a small dragon, you have the ghost, you have the moon sprite, you have another small dragon, I grabbed 2 of those, and the goblin gang. So you can see in this, the artwork is cute, it's not scary, but there are ghosts and there are goblins and there's a dragon. Again, if you're looking for a good family game to play on Halloween where you can fight ghosts and goblins and things like that, but that aren't gonna put scary images in the kids' heads, this is a great option. This is from 25th Century Games. We'll leave links below to where you can find it, but it's a really fun game, really easy to pick up, super family friendly, and just an all around a great game. And again, the artwork is amazing and not too scary.
And if you kind of want to play on your own, there is a solo mode, but I love it more as a family.
Yes, it's a great game to play as a family. We really enjoy playing that one as a family.
And the next one is Horrified.
Yes, so this is Horrified. This is the Universal Monsters. Now, you may have seen there is a new Horrified American Monsters out. We have not played that, but I did talk to someone who has played it and who owns the game to see what the differences were. And basically, from what I've heard, the artwork on American Monsters is a little bit harsher, a little more to the horror side. So if you have kids that are sensitive to that or that are sensitive to just scary things, you may lean towards the Universal Monsters. This one is also a little bit easier. The actual gameplay mechanics are all the same, but what I was told is the beginner level on American Monsters matches up to kind of the medium difficulty on this one. So this one might be a better one to start out with, and then if you get through all that and you want another challenge, then look at American Monsters and see. But Horrified is a cooperative game where you are trying to save your village from the monsters that are attacking it.
And you guys have a Can Kids Play on it, right?
Yes, we do. I will leave a link to that too that we go through, and we actually break down this entire game from a parent's perspective, language dependence, kind of go through the card artwork, look at all the ones that might be questionable. So I will leave that if you're interested in this one and want a more in-depth look specifically from a parent's perspective at Horrified. So what's your favorite thing about Horrified? Because we really like this game for our family.
I love the, I really like the monsters. Like, I think the monsters are my favorite part of it. Like, how you beat them, how they're all really different. So when you play with one and then you play with a different one, it's going to be a different game.
Yeah, and it has a bunch of different monsters in it, and each one you beat it a different way by going around the board and collecting things or doing different activities. So it does have a lot of replayability. It's really fun in that aspect. But again, it's a cooperative game, so it's great if you're trying to get younger players playing a little bit more complex game, because you can kind of help them walk through it and give them suggestions as you go, since you're not competing against each other. So Horrified, fantastic Halloween game because it's not too scary. It's very Halloween themed, and it's just a great all-around game.
And the next game, or two games, a game and an expansion, is Deadly Doodles and Deadly Doodles 2.
Yes, so definitely a family-friendly Halloween game.
Cute.
Yes, this is a roll and write game. This is Deadly Doodles 2 is the expansion for it. But basically you have this dungeon board, you're drawing a path on it, you're trying to fight monsters, fight the dragon and get the gold. But fighting the monsters is really, if you draw a line through weapon A and monster A, you defeat the monster. There's no narrative to it. There's nothing scary in it that is actually like narratively where you're telling a story that has any horror aspects to it. It is a really fun game. Peyton loves this game. Again, the artwork, nothing even questionable in the artwork. Even the box art you can see is very tame, very fun, even though it's a skeleton and we got a dragon and some little monsters over here. So
they are cute. This is like a very cute artwork game, and it's just so fun to play.
Yep, so really friendly. Again, it's called Deadly Doodles. It has some skulls on it. It is not scary at all. There's no scary story to it. There's no spooky artwork. None of the artwork, most of the artwork, pretty much all of it, it's black and white kind of line drawing. So if you're okay with the box art, you're going to be okay with the game itself as far as the artwork goes. So that is Deadly Doodles and Deadly Doodles 2. Again, you need Deadly Doodles to play Deadly Doodles 2 because this is an expansion with more maps and just more elements to it, but it does require Deadly Doodles to play.
And then what number is this?
I don't know.
Fifth game.
Yes.
Fifth game on our list is Scooby-Doo Escape from the Haunted Mansion, which is an escape room in a box.
Yes, this is part of the Coded Chronicles from the Op. It is an escape room in a box. If you know Scooby-Doo, you know the gang got stuck in a haunted mansion. There's a ghost. There's a mystery to be solved. It has envelopes that you're going through. You're using clues on the map and in the book to make decisions and work your way through. It's a super family friendly. And if you know Scooby-Doo, you also know there's not really a ghost. Maybe you'll have to solve the mystery to find out if it's really a ghost. But it's not. It's
I have not seen Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
This is so fun, even though I haven't actually seen it. I love doing the voices with the little books I have.
Yes, there's books for each character, so you reveal a clue, it tells you to go in the book to read a certain part from it, and it gives you clues, and you use that to figure out the story, to make decisions of where you're going to go next. Kind of that choose your own adventure kind of thing where you read that, and if you think it's A, you go to page whatever and read the part there. But it's a really fun game, really great escape room in a box. Now this is it's divided into 2 chapters, but once you go through it, there's only one mystery in it. So it can be played over a couple sessions if you play one chapter and then take a break and play the other one. But once you're finished, there's no second mystery to it. But you don't destroy anything, you don't ride on anything. There is nothing that keeps you from giving it to another family to play on theirs. So it's a great game to play and then pass along to someone else so they can have the same fun with their family.
So maybe you play on Halloween and then give it to someone on Christmas.
Yep, and we do have a tutorial for this game that we will leave in the links below. But Scooby-Doo Escape from the Haunted Mansion, escape room in a box, great game. Probably takes a couple hours to play, so if you want to play over a couple nights, it's great for that.
And now next game is Monsdrawsity.
Monsdrawsity is a party game, so the more people you have, the better. But basically in Monsdrawsity, you're taking on the role of a police sketch artist. One person is the witness. The other players are all sketch artists. The witness role is going to look at this card for a certain amount of time, and then they're going to put the card away, and they are going to describe what they saw. And then everyone else who as the sketch artists are trying to draw what's being described. And they can ask questions, they can ask for more information from the witness, and it's just a really fun game to see how a bunch of different people interpret the same information. They're all getting the same information from the witness, but the drawings are all wildly different.
Yes.
So this is a really fun game to play with a big group of people. Great party game. Yeah, a lot of fun. Monsdrawsity, again, it's monsters. Great theme for Halloween if you have a few people together. We've played with our family of 4 and had a lot of fun. I think if you have 5 or 6 people together, it's going to be a great time. Also a great holiday game as the holidays are coming up to play with family.
And the next game on our list is 5 Minute Dungeon.
Yes.
5 Minute Dungeon isn't actually 5 minutes, but each dungeon is 5 minutes.
Yes. It is a real-time card game. It's kind of a dungeon, not even a dungeon crawler. Everyone picks a character and you have a deck of cards. There's a wizard, there's some other characters that you have your own deck of cards that you are fighting through the dungeons. You're really matching up icons on your cards to icons on the dungeon cards. And it's real time. You have 5 minutes to play through. There's an app that goes with it that has really silly voices.
Yes.
Again, the artwork is really tame. It's a really, really fun game. Great family game. We have a tutorial for this one too. But it's a really fun game. It's super hectic because it is 5 minutes. You're just throwing cards down, trying to beat the monsters together. It's cooperative. So again, great for younger players because they can play along and you can kind of pick up some of the slack if they're a little slow in their monster fighting.
Yep.
What's your favorite part about 5 Minute Dungeon, Jared?
I think my favorite part about 5 Minute Dungeon is how it's so much suspense when fighting the monsters because you're just like, we got 3 minutes left and we're only halfway through the deck.
And your deck of cards is face down, so you don't know what it's not like it's not like where you have your entire set of cards you can look through and pick and choose. You're kind of at the will of what you draw. So it's very hectic. It's very fun. If you don't get through in 5 minutes, you go back and you play it again, but you build through. If you beat Dungeon 1, you go on to Dungeon 2, and I think there's 5 or 6 total that you play. I don't think we've ever gotten to the last one.
No, it's hard.
Yeah. But really fun game. Again, get the app from Spin Master. It is super fun. The app has really silly voices, and they count down, and they make fun of you if you lose. But it's all in good fun. So that's 5 Minute Dungeon. Next on the list
is Terra.
Yes. Now, this is a stretch to call a Halloween game because it doesn't actually have anything Halloween.
You're in a cave and there's monsters
There's horrors chasing you. It's kind of spooky themed. It's suspenseful. There's no actual gore or anything like that. The horrors are
claws.
Yeah, it's
Just
claw
3
marks
claws.
on a token. But this is a really good if you're wanting kind of a turn the lights down and play a spooky-ish themed game that's a little tense. It's a cooperative game.
Does it glow in the dark?
It doesn't glow in the dark. There are UV coatings on some of the tiles that glow under a black light. But it is a really fun, it does a really good job of exploring the cave, kind of creating that tension. But yeah, you're a group of cavers that have fallen into a cave and you have to break up and try and find the exit before you run out of time. And if you don't, then you fall asleep and no one knows what happens to you when you've fallen asleep in a cave with monsters. You probably don't die, but you might.
You probably get captured by the monster for a while.
Yeah, and they don't hurt you.
Next game is Campy Creatures.
So, Campy Creatures from Keymaster Games. You are a mad scientist that has sent out your
monsters
army of spooky creatures to capture mortals. A little bit morbid theme because they're bringing the mortals back to...
we don't exactly know.
It says to do experiments on. You don't do experiments in the game. You are only capturing mortals for the scientist. You're not experimenting on them.
Teenagers specifically.
Yeah, there's teenagers, there's adults, but it's kind of that 80s theme, like
it's fun.
The teenagers that are in groups that are getting captured by monsters. But I did want to show some of the cards. You can see, like, there's the kaiju, there's the beast, the vampire, the werewolf, the invader, there's the mummy, invisible man, the demogorgon, the swamp creature, and the blob. So these are all of the monsters in the game. So you can see there's no like gory or overly scary artwork. And again, the theme, the story of the game is you're trying to go capture mortals, bring them back to the lab so the mad scientists can do what mad scientists do. But it's not overly scary. We've played this. We played all of these games with our family with no issues. Again, I know different families are going to have different tolerances for what, and different kids and adults even are going to have tolerances for what they're okay with that starts to be scary to them. But we've really enjoyed this game. It's a lot of fun, easy to play. Campy Creatures from Keymaster Games is game number 9. Game number 10, before you pull it out, this is the most questionable game we have purely because of the artwork, not because of the gameplay at all.
The front of the box shows the artwork.
It is Zombie Dice.
Campy Creatures.
Yeah, it is Zombie Dice from Steve Jackson Games. It's got scary, creepy looking zombies on it.
And you're collecting brains trying not to get shot.
The game itself it's a push your luck dice game. You're rolling dice, trying to collect brains, trying to avoid shotguns. But again, all of that is just in the theme and the story. You can see on here, there are scary zombies in the artwork.
They have funny names at least.
The gameplay itself is not scary at all. There is no story to it. There's nothing in it that actually describes any zombies eating brains. It's just a dice rolling, push your luck game. Really, really fun game. But it does have some kind of creepy, scary artwork to it. So this would be if your kids are at all averse to zombies, to scary stuff like that. May want to avoid Zombie Dice, but if you're a group of adults or a group of kids who don't care about this artwork, really fun push your luck game.
Yep. And that's all 10 games on our list. 11 if you consider Deadly Doodles and Deadly Doodles 2 separate, but 10. 10
games that you can play for Halloween that are going to have a spooky theme to them, but not leave anyone having nightmares. Again, we have some videos on some of these. We will leave links to those below. Obviously, if you have any questions about it, feel free to leave us a comment. We'll answer more. Also, if there's a game that you like, that you're interested in, Board Game Geek is typically good about having pictures of the game components. So if there's some that you say, oh, that looks cool, but I'm worried the artwork might be a little iffy, go there. You should be able to, on the Board Game Geek page for the game, find some information, at least find some samples of the gameplay and gameplay components so you can see if that's going to be a good fit. But again, if you have any questions at all, we are happy to answer any of those questions. We want to help you find great games to get to the table this Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. We'll have more videos for those too.
Yeah, we have videos for a few of these games that we'll leave links to in the description, and we'll leave links to get these games in the description also.
So we're trying to give you, I think by the time we post this, you've got about a week and a half to get a game for Halloween. So yeah, we will leave links to where you can find all of these in the description. Be sure to hit that subscribe button right there.
And watch some of our other videos over here.
We'll see you later.
Bye.